Hello, my name is Paul. I wrote this intro by hand in my journal. Um, I've been dreaming up a life where I'm a content creator of some type. I've been learning cameras and editing. I've actually filmed maybe 20 plus videos, but I've always been a little out of fuel when it came to posting. I've been ironing out the process, enjoying the process. And on this day, I was practicing a distant shot in a scene filled with colors. And all of my gathered learnings resulted in what felt like my vision come to life. So, without a script, shot right from the hip, I let this message go. I had no intentions on giving this message, so it might need some work, but still, there are some gems in there. For you new YouTubers, I'm using a Sony A7C Mark II. I'm filming in manual, and my settings are auto white balance, auto ISO, and the picture profile is S-Log3 S Gamma 3 Cine or something. My lens is a 28 to 60, which came with the camera actually. My tripod is I think a Ulanzi A01, which is a great little tripod that I'm using to travel around with. And to monitor my shot, I'm using the Sony Monitor and Control app. My mic is a DJI 2, and the lav is magnetized under my shirt against my chest, which is where I think it sounds the best. And I forget the settings, but I think the lav is like the transmitters are set to 3 gain, the receiver is set to 0, and on your Sony, yeah, it's like set to around audio levels around 12. Anyways, it took me forever to learn that. I started learning seriously around February 21st, 2025, so about 8 months ago. And I still make mistakes all the time. And oh yeah, I'm in Premiere Pro. I'm using the creative look called Gold something. And you also need to download the Sony LUT and select in basic color correction. I know it's a lot, but that's what it took to get to this look. And I'll talk to you soon. Be well, and here's my message. This is a 28 to 60. And it's not a lens I've really appreciated much. And I really don't know why. It's because I looked at it and I was like, this lens is not a cool lens. It's not the top of the line. So it's not good enough for me. You know how we do as people. Oh wow, but it actually has good depth of field. I mean, I like it. Wow, actually, it looks great. What's wrong with that? My God. I'll show you what it looks like from my end. See? Definitely not as big as this guy. See comparison? Super small, but maybe it's kind of cool. Wow. That's a really wide angle, huh? I like that. How's the sound, guys? Oh, look at that. Wow. Wow, stunning with the light that's coming in right there. I feel like I should, use this time to talk about something that's special. But we're getting greedy, though. I'm getting greedy with all your time. Stunning. All right, I'm gonna say something fun while we have this limited time with this golden burst. Let me see, can it go even closer? It can. Yes, we're gonna talk about it. All right. All right. It's not your fault. it's not your fault that for your whole life, you've worked a job and your money's not where you want it to be. You could be over 30, 40, 50s, 60s, and you're wondering where it all went, where it's all gone. And you look at your bank account, you look at your finances, you look at your discipline, and you think, what have I done wrong? I believe that we give ourselves to people and we give our time to people who do not have our best interest. And in some ways, we need to forgive them for that and also, again, take ownership of our life. Most of the CEOs that I work for, some of them, are absolutely vicious people. I've seen some CEOs scream so loud at people right in front of them, and especially on Zoom calls where they feel like they could just rip into others, that the spit is flying from their mouth. And they give off this weird feeling. Like, you don't know how hard this is. And as creatives, we end up oftentimes in these toxic relationships. We're serving somebody so much, and we feel that this business that they're doing is just taking them to the ground. But you see, these business people, they're two people at once. They're the person that says, you don't know how hard this is. God, you don't know what I do around here. This is crazy. But they're also the person, like if you were to start your own company, they would say, oh, dude, I'll help you out. It's easy. I've been doing this for like 20 years. So in certain meetings, that same business CEO is like, it's easy. I've been doing this forever. I've raised millions of dollars. I've taken companies public or whatever. They act like it's easy. But with you, they act like it's tremendously hard. And they use this as a manipulation tactic. And if you look back at your jobs over the years, you've had so many leaders like this, likely, where you have shown up to work and you feel like you're going to make it somewhere, that your bonus is just around the corner, that your Christmas bonus or Diwali bonus or some sort of payment increase, a performance plan increase, but it never really arrives. And when it does, it's done so with this long, drawn out, like, spiel. You know, when you sit down in a meeting room, my name's Paul, right? So they might be like, hey, Paul, we want to give you a bonus, you know? And the world is up and down and left and right and all around, and you could do really good and all this stuff. And this one time, you know, in the beginning of the year, and next year, what we really want to do, and la, 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 just give me the fucking bonus. Why does everything have to be this long, drawn out form of manipulation? And recently, as I've decided to go into entrepreneurship and YouTubing and Instagram and all of these things, I've realized, and I've done other things, like I've raised money and started my own companies, I've actually realized that they were liars. It's not stressful and it's not difficult. Some CEOs I know, they go, I work 20 hours a day, I work 16 hours a day. No, they don't. So many things you have heard from the leaders that you've worked for, most of them, all lies. They want to feel safe, they want to feel comfortable, so they draw boundaries using passive-aggressive behaviors, and it's toxic. And recently when I did this big flow, I flowed out so many different things on what it takes to start a company. And I started to look at it and I was like, actually, it's really easy. I mean, you start an LLC, or you get a trust and you put the LLC in the trust, whichever way you want to do it, however complex you want to get. You can get LegalZoom or something like that. I mean, hell, if you want to book somebody for an hourly call to do coaching, all you have to do is start a Calendly. And Calendly has integrated Stripe. And Stripe is a payment plan, so you can actually book someone for however much you want. You just set the hourly rate for $200, $300, shit. You could put $10,000 if you wanted for 1 hour of your time, and that money goes straight into your pocket. And you don't even need to start a business to do that. If you don't even do any LLC, you're what's called a sole proprietor, which means you can collect money.
You don't even need to start a company to start earning money. You yourself are a company. Surprise, your first, your last name, your address, your phone number, your bank account, that's enough. And hell, raising money, easy as cake. It's like taking a bunch of Zoom calls all the time, asking people about to have some money, and you tell them about your idea, and it might work out. I mean, even if you did 100 Zoom calls with investors, it's far easier than going to 100 all hands as a 3D artist, a concept artist, a project manager, somebody who does a ton of work for the company day in, day out, getting lied to in your face for years by the CEO. I mean, which path is easier? You tell me. The 3D artist who cowers when the CEO walks by? They literally, I've seen entire art teams cower in fear when the CEO walks by. For 365 days a year. And they truly do sometimes work 12, 16-hour days. But yet the CEO walks around with this weird demeanor. Like, God, they're going through some really tough times. Like they hold this massive burden, but they don't. It's all a lie. The way in which people have been teaching you is a lie. And I believe that you can start a company and be independent and free of all of this nonsense. And I know you can do it because I can do it. It's really a lot more simpler than you think. You know, YouTube, they tell you to pick a niche. They tell you to, try to come up with something that'll work. Or they have all these tips, and you might be getting some of those videos, and maybe that's why you're getting this video now. And you might be hesitant about it. Like, I hate all these online coaches. I'm sick of these webinars, or I'm sick of these classes and stuff like that. But really, that's exactly what your boss wanted you to feel. That's exactly what your toxic life wanted you to feel. They wanted you to feel that way. They're programming you to feel that way. They're doing it unconsciously, subconsciously. And hey, look, your boss's husband probably loves her, or their wife probably loves him. At home, they're totally lovable. They're good people in the eyes of God and the universe. They're totally fine. They're not intentionally manipulative, but they're manipulating you. You're an employee. You're a worthless corporate slave. And it needs to change. It absolutely needs to change. And it's dead simple. And you might say, hey, well then what's the answer? I don't have it all perfectly aligned for you yet in this video. But I can tell you that I'm working on something. And from what I can see, it's super easy. I mean, going on a website and starting your own company, come on, you can figure that out. Using that number that you get with your LLC to start because you need a special number to start a bank account, which I'm about to do, a professional bank account, come on, you could do that. Getting a website, come on, you can do that. Having it hosted, you can figure that out. Starting a Shopify, you could totally figure that out. Have you ever printed something before, a piece of paper? Well, if somebody orders one of your products, guess what? You print out a little mailing slip. Have you ever mailed something before? You mail it to them. You could sell a product. Have you ever done a Zoom call before? You've probably done a lot of those. Well, guess what? Some people take Zoom calls for $800+ an hour. And so your mind is all messed up. I didn't even expect to make this video right now. I'm out here just playing with my camera, trying to learn angles and learning the camera. And I believe you can do that too. Hell, I don't even know if I'm in focus. I hope I am. The autofocus is turned on. I don't even know if the battery went off. I can't even see my camera from that far. But I'm trying. I had a vision that I was somebody who knew how to use these things. I had a vision that I was somebody who knew how to do these things. And I'm trying to unlock that vision. And I want that for you. I want that for everybody. There's way too much suffering going on out there. There's a mother coming right now with her children, and they're going to try to have a picnic. And I think that they deserve this space. There's barking dogs and everything's going crazy. But it's okay. You know, we're just having fun. Everyone's just trying to have a good day at the park. But I just wanted to make this quick video. I didn't even think I was going to make it. The lighting was just so nice when I started that I wanted to tell you that it's going to be okay. and it's not your fault. But now that you're aware of this, it is your fault. Every day you continue to choose to work with these abusers, it's your fault. Once you're aware of it. And I tell you what, if I told you my story from end to end, I would probably be sued or at least contacted by at least 3 different men who would say, you're not allowed to say that about me. And they don't want me to be on YouTube. Can you believe that? Because their life is somehow more important than mine. It's weird. Why? They have money. Why can't I have a camera? Why can't I be a YouTuber? Why can't I go on Instagram? Why do I have to be so silent? Why do I have to live in fear? Because I have friends that might judge my channel. Because I have ex-bosses who might think, haha, pathetic. And some bosses that I've worked with have literally told me, you are pathetic. I've literally been told that directly to my face. And these are the same people who said that they were always looking out for me, who wanted the best for me. They don't want the best for you. They don't. And so that was my message for the day. I didn't script it, and I didn't actually plan to give it. I just wanted to come and check my camera out. But that's a message that I'm kind of working on right now. And so I hope to learn more. I'll put a link in the description of some people who have really helped me so far. I haven't even met with them, but they've done wonderful things in my life just because they make YouTube videos. And so I'm going to do YouTube. I'm going to do Instagram. I don't really have a perfect niche, but I'm going to figure it out for sure. I don't even know if I like this lens. It's pretty cool. Good enough for me. But what is right now, this right here, talking in public to a camera, sitting on a bench, drinking a coffee with my 13 subscribers. My cold coffee once was hot about an hour ago. Well, I'll tell you what, I will do this every day of the week. I will do this forever if it means not being in one more meeting room with some of the ridiculous people that I have worked with. By the way, I'm using this cool app right now to see myself. I'll record my screen and show you. So you see how this is me monitoring my stuff. See, I was just out here testing my camera. I didn't mean to make a video. Hopefully this video is fun. But I can't really see if I'm visible, because this screen is not a direct replica of what's happening in the camera, and I'm just learning that. But the battery is about to go dead, so I do gotta go. I'm at a 0%. And yes, you can do this. I know you can. Cool. Bye.